Hey everybody, this is who's shouting out from from YouTube, shouting out from Los Angeles, California. How you doing? I hope you're doing fine. I'm doing well. Listen, I want to come on here and talk a little bit about spiritual waters and colognes. Now, in this series, always on here, we're going to always talk about hoodoo and conjure, different aspects of hoodoo and conjure, and a lot of times those different aspects have everything to do with mundane materials such as colognes, perfumes, smell good waters, anything that we can do to customize utilitarian or everyday products, like such as our ancestors did, in order to really truly uh, tap into tap into the mojo of certain things. So now, mind you, I was just on Clubhouse earlier. Listen, getting used to. I'm having to get used to the whole StreamYard. I don't know how to use it. I'm gonna try to pretend like I know what the hell I'm doing. I don't, but bear with me. Thank you. Now, I've just learned a few things too. Now, I learned that you can share your windows. So I have my notes here. Now, mind you, these notes I got from I took one of my granddaddy's Hoodoo Bibles. And these notes are from must notes, perfume notes, and must notes themselves. But keep in mind, perfume waters are a major, major aspect of antebellum Orleans. They always have been and always will be. Now, the reason why perfume waters, eau de toilette and or smell good waters are so important, and mind you, they have a history behind them. It's because not everybody could afford perfumes. And to be quite frank with you, and I'll be completely honest with you, not everybody was allowed to have perfumes. Now, if you're familiar with the Tignon law, and I'm going to show you what the Tignon law is, back in Orleans, let me remove that real quick. Back in Orleans, I'll put it right back. Back in Orleans, they had the Tignon law. And what the Tignon law, I'm going to show it to you right now. What the Tignon law was, women of color and black women had to cover their hair for some strange, odd reason, other than the fact that folks couldn't take it how pretty they was. So, I'm getting ready to show it to you. So here we go. Now you're going to see examples of tignon, of how the tignon back in the 18th century, and how the tignon actually reinnovated how we saw ourselves as a people. Now, as soon as it can. Now, mind your perfume has a beautiful history. Now, that's a tignon right there. In fact, that's more so in South America, around about 1700s. This is another elder with a tignon, and so is another. This is about the 1800s. But perfume itself did change during the Jazz Age. Now, the thing about it is, now that I've showed you a few examples of what Tignon actually is. Back in the day, now not a lot of people know this, but back in the day, women of color or black women could not afford, even though many of them came from wealthy families or had daddies that were land wealthy. Because of the skin color, they were not allowed to have on perfumes. Not necessarily, honey. No, so basically and perfumes they were cost prohibitive. But even though some of these young ladies came from wealthy families, they were prohibited to wear perfume. So what they would do is that they would wash the fabrics of their tignons in in essential waters that were flavored, that had a little liquor to them, that were denatured by the essence of plants, flowers, as well as petals. So therefore, it created an intoxicating scent around their tignon and around their headspace. It was really beautiful. You know, we always gonna find a way out of everything. Now, because perfumes were not allowed concerning the lower class, because there's, a lot of Europe when they came over to Orleans, especially the French and Spanish, they brought with them their aristocracy as well as their uptight ways of seeing things, just completely assholeaholic. So, just it's not a word, but it is what it was. So what they end up doing basically is um, Black folks and people of color end up finding very creative ways in going about smelling good and feeling good about themselves. So we end up creating what's called spiritual waters and eau de toilettes, or smell good waters. Now, or fragrant waters themselves. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to present my notes, which I've never done before. Hold on. And just going to present my notes for what I have. You don't have to show that no more. There we go, honey. Now, the thing that I love about understanding, oh, here we go, honey. The thing I love about an understanding, there we go. The thing I love about an understanding concerning old school research is this. There's ton, and mind you, most of these fragrances came from my grandfather. Now, because of his old Bible, just listen, that you just ignore that. Now, mind you, right there. Now we have rich pussy oil right here, cornelia rose blossoms, apple blossoms, cherry blossoms. That's exactly right here. That's exactly what he labeled it. And then, of course, now mind you, this is seduction oil, which is yang lang lang blossoms, jazz blossoms, and then saffron, creating a beautiful scent. Now, mind you, these are essential oils, beautiful essential oils. Now we have a more seductive understanding concerning this whole concoction, which you would, especially if you add a little orris root and sandalwood right there. Now you're going to add that to here. And what happens is that it creates a whole, because orris root itself, when you add to your ylang-ylang, jasmine, and saffron, orris root is for love. Absolutely. Beautifully for love. And sandalwood creates a grounding of that magic inside, that mojo, that energy inside, that inside this whole concoction here. And now all of a sudden, you have a literally an intention heavy type of oil. Now, mind you, these are all oils. You can have them with herbs. And then you add 5 drops, 5 ounces of safflower oil, or basically, I would add this to almond oil. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the musk. Now, a lot of these are going to be oils, such as we have this is ambergris seed absolute, 10 drops of vanilla, to 7 drops of cedarwood, 7 drops of myrrh, 7 drops of frankincense, and 7 drops of patchouli. Now, mind you, I like to have this with apricot and sweet almond. Daddy says grapeseed oil right here. No, Daddy. And the reason why I don't want grapeseed oil is because of the simple fact, whereas grapeseed oil has a tendency to oxidize in a really strange way. I don't like how it oxidizes. It's not very nice. And it doesn't smell right. And that's just my interpretation of it. I never, ever felt that grapeseed oil smells right when it oxidizes. But I love the way apricot kernel oil and sweet almond oil. Now, mind you, I know what you're saying. T, you just talked about spirit waters. What does that have anything to do? Anything to do with what? Because all these oils, like let's say this right here. Let's say we're going to go to the ambergris seed musk, because these are all of these right here. These are all must recipes, every last one of them. You're going to denature these 10 drops of these 10 drops right here, 10 drops of vanilla, 9 drops of patchouli, 9 drops of frankincense, 7 drops of myrrh, cedarwood. You're going to pit these in 8 ounces of Everclear or moonshine. Completely dilute them, delineate them, okay? Distill them, and then take that alcohol enriched alcohol enriched spirit, which we call the spirit of life, because it's the spirit of life of these herbs, of these oils, and then add that to a pint. Add that to a pint of rainwater, mineral water, mineral water, and or spring water. That's, and mine's gonna get cloudy. And that's how we have essential oil waters. You see how simple it is. You see what we done did. Now let's look at some of these recipes. Now I've never shared these recipes before, especially my recipe Bible. Now, mind you, the reason why I love working, here we go right here. This is See if I can make this bigger, a little bit bigger for you. I love, hold on. Can I make this bigger? Just a minute. I don't think I can make this a little bit bigger. I don't think it's gonna let me. Hold on. Maybe it will. Oh, it's waiting on the feed. Okay. Now, right here. Now, this is a woodsy fragrance goes here. Now, of always in hoodoo and conjure. Now, mind you, this is 3 drops of musk fragrance. Now, mind you, we're going to see the above recipe along with further 3 drops of sandalwood, 2 drops of frankincense, 5 drops of jojoba oil, and 2 drops, 2 tablespoons of distilled water to go along with this to further delineate it before you put it inside that spirit. Now, the whole thing is this. Before I continue, I know a lot of folks are simply saying, in all honesty, what does that have anything to do with spiritual waters and colognes? Everything. Because everything that I'm showing you right now absolutely can be mixed with orris root, can be mixed with galangal root, calamus root, master woods, master root. You can make these spirit waters much, much older and much more powerful, incredibly powerful, extremely powerful by just created by the Constitution. Now, a lot of the roots I just listed do not necessarily have a fragrance to them. They're specifically added to the roots themselves in order in order to add conjure to these roots, in order to add conjure to these spirit waters to make them more intentional. Absolutely. Now, I would go to Clubhouse usually, but Clubhouse acts bad, horrible. Well, actually, I can't post stream from 2 different sites because they both take up a lot of memory. So I have to do this separately. So listen, what I'm gonna do is have everybody know that I'm on here. Or maybe not listen, they'll probably catch it later. If they catch it. They'll probably catch it later. Now see, okay, there we go. Now everybody's always wondering, why do there we go, honey. Everybody's always wondering why I like to go about expounding the aspects of hoodoo and conjure in specific oils and tinctures and all those things going on. Because most unlearned people or ignorant ass people feel that hoodoo is just voodoo dolls and candles and all kinds of other shit like that. It is not. Some of the most powerful aspects of conjure can smell so good and can be just as simple as scented oil, scented waters, as well as scented colognes, cologne waters that you wear on your person, that when people smell them, they can change the whole entire atmosphere of that room, depending on your power of sovereign and your conjure. Hoodoo and voodoo, for that matter, has everything to do concerning how you go about treating the elements, treating the materials you have. A lot of our ancestors couldn't get their hands on no candles. You know how expensive candles were during slavery time, and not everybody could make them. You know how expensive beeswax was at that time, which what most candles were made from, and not everybody would allow everybody beeswax. Beeswax was a white man's work. It was tooled by white men. They were beekeepers, honey keepers. Honey was a major, major business. And this was usually tooled by families that all they did was specifically deal with honey and beeswax. They're not going to sell beeswax to make candles to Black people. So we had to create spirit lamps. That's where spirit lamps come from. We were not allowed beeswax to make candles. Beeswax and candles themselves was a rich man's business. So what we did, we created spiritual lamps. That's a whole nother story. And that's why spirit lamps are so powerful concerning voodoo and conjure and voodoo and Santeria. There were stipulations. Hello, JS. There were stipulations on what we were allowed to have. And what we were allowed to have, we worked with. Y'all have to get, and I'm not saying this to anybody in here, but there could be somebody in YouTube land that's going to watch this later, either on Facebook, Instagram, or Smutbag Twitter. X, the site formerly known as Twitter. I don't mind Twitter. I think Twitter's amazing. But anyway, I digress. Hoodoo is a lot more than about voodoo dolls and candles. Hoodoo is a lifestyle. It's imbuing every single thing on your person, from an article of clothing to smell good waters, with your intent, and making sure that that material is utilitarian only unto your magic, only unto your will, expounding that will out with your sovereign out into the world. And the more efficient you at is doing that, the more the world will fucking change around you. But you must be efficient at what you're doing, and you must know what you're doing, and you must diversify your power other than voodoo dolls and candles. That's boring. See, that's what Hollywood, that's what white folks want you to think. When hoodoo is in everything. That's why we talk about the smell good waters. Because if you put your intention enough, for instance, let's say, now mind you, I'm gonna pull back up my list again. I had to explain that. Hold on, honey. Let me go ahead on and share my screen. Let's go back to my notes. Hmm, There we go, honey. Now, mind you, when you go here, and you have this right here, this rich pussy oils and powders. Now, mind you, now when I mean by right here, now what I mean by conjure oils and powders that's there, all these the cornelia rose blossoms, apple blossom, cherry blossom, ylang ylang blossoms, jasmine blossom, saffron, orris root, and sandalwood, that can be made into a dried roux. And that dried roux, you can make that cosmetically fine to wear on your body like a fine dust, a bedset powder for when your man come over or your lady come over. Or it can be made into an oil with wonderful sweet almond oil and let the root set into that oil. Or you can take the cornelia rose, all these, and make them essential oils. And then go ahead on. Now, mind you, if you're going to do the essential oils for rich pussy oil, cornelia rose blossom is going to take 20. Also add rose odo oil. That's 20. That's 20 drops. Apple blossoms takes 10. Cherry blossom takes 7. Ylang ylang takes 20. Jasmine takes 10. Saffron essential oil is going to take 7. Then add orris root powder. Sandalwood oil, if you want to, add seven drops to that. Now take all of that and add that to a wonderful, absolutely wonderful sweet almond oil. Now, mind you, keep in mind, now you add to the sweet. Now you don't if you're going to make an oil out of it, perfectly fine. If you're not going to make an oil out of it, you can do that to every I would say every, hmm, let's do a whole cup of moonshine and add those drops of oil to it. Now that cup of moonshine, you're going to add to a pint of spring water. That's how you got that spring water. Now we don't went from dried powders to sweet oils to fragrant waters, all at the same time. Now we don't went from that all at the same time. That's the utilitarian aspect of hoodoo. Now, mind you, if you have that powder, that dust powder, you make that as a sachet of mojo, and to work on your candle work, depending on for your client or if you have somebody who you really like, and you have a pink candle, you light that pink candle to him or her, and mind you, you have a good petition under it. Okay, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. But also too, now you could take that sweet water, wear that sweet water on your body, light that candle with that sacred powder, with that dried root powder, and mind you, take that pink candle, roll it over in that rose odor oil, go ahead on and line it up with that wonderful sweet powder that's there. Burn that candle along with other accoutrements of that part of that ritual. You're gonna need several other candles too to hold space for that work. We'll get into a candle ritual some other time. But we went from candle magic to dried root that you can use in several different ways to, of course, spiritual waters and colognes. We've diversified that conjure. Not all you're wearing a conjure, but let's say this is a love case. Okay, you have your candle work, your sweet colognes, and your sweet waters you wear on your body. That's one way of working mocho. The candles won't work away and wearing mocho. Now I'm probably going to have that person wear a sachet or create a sachet for them. That's another way of working at mocho. Now so far you got 3 ways of working the same damn spell. Don't ever get inside your head that there's one way to work a spell because it ain't never gonna work for you. Now, I'm also gonna recommend a spell jar too. That's 5 ways of working the same damn spell. And if that's one person, one target, he or she is going to come around. That's a lot of damn magic on that person, and that's what I've been taught for generations. Never ever go towards a spell with just 2 feet in front of you. You run faster if you got not just 2 feet, but four, five, 2, 4, 6, 8 feet. It's running fast. Ain't you gonna get there faster with 8 feet instead of two? You sure will. Always keep that in mind. It'd be amazing how people think, but they're not really, honey. They really don't know. They ain't really got no idea. Not really. I need to get more tobacco. I'm gonna smoke a little cigar. They really don't know, but now you do. Can't say nobody ain't done told you nothing. Now, also too, when it comes to the sweetener, about the subject concerning here, concerning sweet waters themselves. Let's remind you the recipes I'm going to show you, they're just musk. I move by these kind of fast too because these recipes belong to my family for a long time, and you can't find them nowhere. Oh, hold on, honey. Oh no, not blog. Oh, mute website notifications. Good child, I'm learning something now. Here we go. There we go. Hmm. Now here we go, right here. Now I'm going to go all the way down. Now the musk fragrances that I really love, especially for that are really beautiful, is a hibiscus. The hibiscus sapphire recipe. This is 10 drops of laudanum, oak moss, patchouli, gablinum, lavender, hay, and basil. Now, you can tell this is an old recipe because, honey, they don't even make hay essential oil. They actually do make hay essential oil. It's called sweetgrass essential oil, but it is amazing. This is an amazing fragrance. Now, mind you, you would these 10, 20, 10, 5, 5, 5, 10, 35. Put them in a cup of Everclear. If you could, now this, if you want to make water, in a cup of Everclear, okay? And take that cup of Everclear and go ahead on with those scented oils in it. Go ahead on and then add that to a pint of spring water. And that's how you make it smell good water. And you have a beautiful smell good water of a nice, deeply, deeply good musk that just smells so delicious and it smells so pretty. Now, mind you, this is a Florida fragrance. Now, this is what's really good. It's hay, oak moss, tonka bean, vetiver, lavender, jasmine, and blood orange. Mhm. You take the exact drops that are there. You go on and add them to, of course, a cup of Everclear and moonshine. Take that, add that to a pint of spring water. Now you have wonderful, wonderful musk. Now, if you're going to make this for love, you're going to have to add certain roots to go with it to be a part of that Everclear. Now, also too, if you're going to make this for love right here, you're going to have some certain time. That means the whole process that you're doing, you're going to have to make sure that that oil and alcohol sit together for some time. But the roots that are going to sink to the bottom for love always is going to be orris root, catnip, damiana, okay, mass of the woods, all right, and calamus root. You're always going to set them roots to the bottom, let them sink to the bottom of that alcohol. Let the alcohol and those oils sit in the bottom. Shake it once or twice a week. You can like shake it very gently once a day. Then let it sit for up to 4 weeks. Then add that. Then go ahead on and add that wonderful water, that one of those wonderful oils and alcohol to your spring water. Now you have something intentional, especially once you pray over it. Now you have something quite intentional that can absolutely bring you your person, and bring you who you want to love you, even if it is a specific person. They will take notice of you, definitely. because you have a musk that smells so good, but you also have your intention behind it. And you also have 4 to 5 other base herbs or foundation herbs, foundation roots that will absolutely accept that intention inside that alcohol first and foremost before it's even added to that spring water to make toilet water, eau de toilette and or colognes. It helps and it matters definitely. Hmm. I got 2 people watching. Hey, Jasmine, honey. Now, hey, I hope you're doing fine, honey. Now, mind you, if y'all have any questions, let me know. I couldn't be on Clubhouse because not right now, not streaming at the same time. No, can't be on Clubhouse only because, like I said before, you having to 2 streams are taking up so much memory on my little computer, my little tinted computer. It wasn't able to take it. Now, if you come and chat, if you have any questions concerning how to do this whole process, let me know, and I'll be sure to answer them definitely. Mhm. Now hold on. And there we go. Yeah, there we go, honey. So I hope y'all enjoyed this installment of Spirit Waters and Colognes. Now, mind you, there's still so much to discuss concerning the Spirit Waters and Cologne. It's so much to discuss. Child, I'm gonna see what else I have in my notes because I know, like bedroom boudoir, chair. Mhm. So you have to get careful with that, though. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Nope. Mm, Hold on just a minute. Where did my notes go? Oh, they're right here. I'm done. The little thing won't move. Okay. All on my Mac. What is that then? That's amazing. He's changing over a little slow. Hmm. Just take his time. Okay, there we go. So definitely, absolutely. Mhm. So that listen, that's how you make toilet water, definitely. Now, we discussed a few, yes, a few, for few by example, of herbs that do really, really well. But we also discussed one at the very, very beginning. Let's go to the very first one, because that remedy works out really well. Though it's not called, my grandparents wouldn't dare call it that, especially not Nana. But it's known for bringing about love and care. And it's actually known for bringing about anybody, from man to woman, and for woman to woman for that matter. It's known for doing really amazing things. Now, that rich pussy oil that's there, that's going to take camellia, rose blossoms, apple blossoms, cherry blossoms, ylang ylang, jasmine. Oh, let me share this. Hold on, I'll share the window with you. There we go. Mm, There. Here we go. Now, this is Canele, Rich Coochie Boochie right here. Now, all this right here is really truly made to go about and bring love into your life, bring money into your life as well, but bring a good man with good money in his pocket. Now, mind you, none of these roots are really conjure roots they don't really conjure. But I would go about adding equal parts of dried orris root, tablespoon. Um, of course, the damiana, tablespoon. Wild yam, teaspoon. What is another good root too as well? A little bit of astragalus and angelica. You can mix them together and make sure that it all adds up to 1 teaspoon. What is the other one? Calamus root, tablespoon, please. A tablespoon. And catnip. Catnip is fine. Let's put Bassett Woods. 2 teaspoons. T- hmm, Teaspoon and a half. Only because I don't want to mess up the scent. The scent is too beautiful. And Bassett Woods kind of stinks. It oxidizes in a really strange way in oil itself, and it ends up smelling up things. So there we go. Now, when you have that, you pray over it and or have your own understanding of what you want to do. You think about what you need to do. Now, mind you, this oil is for you to wear on your person. And it works beautifully. But you see, we done did. We did take regular oils and went ahead and provided conjure power around them. And that's the best way to be. You take these formulas, as wonderful as they are, and then you go to conjure. And there we go. Does that make any sense? I hope so. hmm Now hold on. Now, mind you, now that concludes right there. That concludes the whole aspect of spirit waters colognes from old Orleans. There's some, now mind you, the examples I used were musk oils, but those musk oils can be added to mineral water and or spring water, as well as cologne. First and foremost, we're going to add them to moonshine or everclear, and then go ahead and then add them to spring water, a pint apiece, make a small amount. But make sure you add your intentional herbs. Now, if you have any problem concerning intentional herbs or you're curious, just hit me up and I'll be sure to help you. Hope that makes sense to you. But listen, y'all, be good. Take care of yourself. This has been an eventful day. It ain't been long, a long old. Now, this is more informative and more informational. I'll do the long streams, just talking jibber jabber. I'll do that out later on tonight. But this is about lessons. But listen, be good, take care of yourself, and thank you for your time. Bye bye.